Welcome in. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We are here to do our SEC football preview show. We are with Stadium Rant. Let's go.
When you get to the point where you do the work consistently, you invest in yourself consistently, you make sacrifices consistently when everybody else is slacking off, when everybody's partying, when everybody's making excuses, you will dominate every single person you're up against, and your limits become non-existent.
Welcome in, guys. It's Brad with College SportsCast. We are here to do our SEC football preview show 2025. What is up, everyone? I have Professor Nicholas with us from Stadium Rant. What's up?
Hello. I'm glad to be back again. Man, this is going to be exciting talking about SEC. There's a lot of things that I can't wait to talk about.
Yep, I agree. We got Hammonds with us. What's up, Hammonds?
What's up, man?
Got Mr. John Hammonds with us.
I'm trying to add this to the Instagram page, but it's not letting me for some odd reason, but I don't know why. So
all right. We got the John Hammonds with us. So
yep, the original.
Yeah. All right. So if you're with us on Facebook, we do appreciate you. That is something that is growing really good for us. If you're with us on Facebook, we appreciate you. You can help support us by sending stars, or you can subscribe for 99 cents a month to our page. It does give you your own subscribers page and the subscribers chat as well. So you can do that. That would be great. Want to throw that out. Before we get started, I have one more quick thing that I want to do. If you're on Facebook, like and subscribe, or like and follow. And if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Also, go to the Real Fresh channel, do the same. Go to Stadium Rant, do the same. All right, guys, got a little bit of stuff out of the way there. We are here to do our SEC football preview show, and we've been doing these in alphabetical order. And if you haven't been with us, every Friday night so far in August, we have done a different one. We started out with the ACC. We also did the Big Ten. We did the Big 12 last Friday night. And tonight on Tuesday, we are here to do the SEC. So we're going to start, guys, with Alabama. It's a good place to start. We're doing them in alphabetical order. So Alabama comes up first. John, I'll start with you. I mean, Alabama is coming off of like a 9-4 season, but seemed like all the fans were dissatisfied. But there is some reason to be optimistic, I believe, with this Alabama team. What do you think?
Yeah, my question, Brad, is how do you become the head coach who ultimately replaces the GOAT, Nick Saban, right? You set a really high bar at winning a title, and anything else is pretty much a failure in the eyes of Alabama fans. This is year two. They was 9-4 last year. Their first non-double-digit win season since 2007. So he's got a lot to work with this year, though. He's got Ty Simpson, quarterback.
That's a lot to live up to, though, man.
Yeah.
Non-10 I mean, that's a 10-win season. I mean, Nick Saban's a lot to live up to.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Kalen DeBoer. I was a little nervous with how great of a job he was going to do without Nick Saban, but
Well, I
he
think
did
you
a
gotta
really good job for his first year in
I
Alabama.
think you got to give him credit because nobody really wanted nothing to do with being the next guy, really.
Oh,
Nope.
no question.
No,
And-
absolutely not.
So that's the big thing there. Like
I'll
nobody
tell
really
I'll
wanted.
tell you what one of the keys to the season for me is, and then you guys can follow, but I think for me, Ryan Grubb coming back to be the offensive coordinator for Kalen DeBoer, he's had two other stops with him and been successful, including Michael Penix at Washington. We saw how great that was 2 years ago. I think Ryan Grubb coming back and them naming Ty Simpson is going to be a major key.
Well, I think it has to be the defense. Last year they got pummeled at times. The Georgia game,
Second half.
Oklahoma, they just did not look like an Alabama defense. The run defense was not real good. Even when Nick Saban was there, they was one of the top defenses in the country. They were humming.
Well, I mean, they were one of the top teams in the country every year. So, yeah.
And their two worst games against the run last year were Oklahoma and Tennessee. It's got to improve a little bit better, and I think they did that with the portal, with the guys that they brought in. So I expect to see Alabama much improved this season.
All right, Nicholas, what do you think is a key to the season here for Alabama?
You guys stole the two that I feel are the big keys. I think the return of the offensive coordinator was key here, but man, you talk about him returning. How about the linebacker, Deontay Lawson? They needed him badly because I didn't think that linebacking core was that great on defense. If he can continue to improve and showcase his leadership skills to guide those guys and become a leader on that defense, then I could really see Alabama take the next step. I think
mine's Caden Proctor. I think he was a big plus getting him back.
That's true.
They got a really good transfer in Isaiah Horton. When you go to Alabama, you got to go next level and take over. And that's
another
what
one.
That's what they're expecting.
Domani Jackson returning.
He's another one. Keon Sabb, getting him back was really big in the secondary. I thought Jeremy Bernard, the wide receiver, the senior, him coming back, that's a big plus. Listen, Alabama did not have their normal Alabama year last year. Let's just call it what it is. But when I look at what Kalen DeBoer, me and Brad talked about this a couple of weeks ago. When I look at his overall resume, I feel like he is the man to do this job. He knows offense. He knows quarterback play. He took Washington to a national championship, if that should tell you anything.
All right, I got to throw out a player that you guys did not mention. I cannot go through Alabama here without mentioning Ryan Williams.
I was about
Ryan
to say,
Williams, guys, with Ryan Grubb, as the offensive coordinator, expect to see, if you go back to the Washington days, they had 2, 3, 4 wide receivers that were 1,000-yard receivers back-to-back seasons. Expect to see Ryan Williams with an outlandish season this year. I really expect that.
And another big keeper that they got, Parker's Brailsford, the center / guard.
Yeah.
He normally plays center for them. That's a big get too, because I'm not a big fan of Rock Montgomery, who's the backup center. So keeping Brailsford there while Montgomery continues to learn is the best play. So that's a big keep too.
All right, that's a good one. All right, John, let's look at their schedule real quick. They start out with Florida State. Mm-hmm. I know that.
They play Eastern Illinois, UNM Monroe, Vanderbilt, Wisconsin, at Auburn, at Florida State, at Georgia, LSU, at Missouri, Oklahoma, at South Carolina, and home against Tennessee. And I'm just going to straight up tell you the game that is crucial for them. It's Georgia. I know the FSU game is really huge, but it's a brutal schedule, Brad. But if they can win in Athens,
they have Florida State and Wisconsin in the out of conference schedule there.
Yeah, but if you can win in Athens in late September and put 10 wins in the last 11 against Georgia, which they've dominated over the last century or seems like decade.
Yeah.
Alabama's sitting pretty high at getting to the college football, back to the college football.
Yeah, I mean, if they could get past Georgia, yeah, you're right. I mean, they would be in the hunt for sure for a college football playoff, which is exactly where the fans think they should be. But Nicholas, what do you think for a key game here?
Yeah, I agree with John Hill. I think Georgia is the number one key game. You can make a case for FSU. You really could, but I would have to agree with him on Georgia.
Well, I think the Georgia game is the SEC opener, right?
Yes.
You kind of win that game, you're sitting above everybody else.
Correct.
So they play Georgia before Vandy?
Yes. It's the first SEC opener.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
All right. I'm not looking at the schedule, so
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yep.
All right, guys. It's time to pick Alabama's record. We are going to pick each team's regular season record. So Alabama prediction win total for the Tide this year. What do you think, John?
10-2. They get back to the college football playoff.
All right. Nicholas, what do you think?
Yeah, 10-2. I think they get back to double digit.
That's kind of where I've got them as well. I do believe that we will see them improve a little bit this year. I think Ryan Grubb coming in is going to be big. Like I said, go check out his numbers with wide receivers when he has been the offensive coordinator. I think Ryan Williams is going to have a big year. Ty Simpson is going to have a big year. And I expect to see a 10-2 team here. And more than likely, 10-2 Alabama is in the college football playoff. All right, guys. The second team in alphabetical order is Arkansas. We're going to go to the Razorbacks. John, what's your initial thoughts here with the Arkansas Razorbacks?
This is kind of like the Kentucky situation when we get to Kentucky. Like, there's just no consistency. Well, last year you've seen them bounce back a little bit. They went 7-6. They returned Taylor Green, one of the top quarterbacks in the country.
Mr. Do-It-All.
Or
just want to have to win this year.
Can I ask a question? Does Sam Pittman get fired this year? Because I think that's a possibility.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he does. Unless the wheels fall off and they only win like 4 games or something. But if he can go 6-6, I think he's back.
Here's the problem you got. It's the 6th season, right? While
I
his
think
record,
I think it's the second with Bobby Petrino as his
coordinator.
His record might not be great, but the schedule is absolutely brutal.
It's brutal.
God. I took a look at that schedule,
and
I don't know if I see 4 wins there. I really don't.
If we don't get at least 6, I could see a idea where
I can see a change if he doesn't get to 6 wins. I can.
Because Arkansas, believe it or not, is a proud program, and they're not going to let it get down. Like it's especially.
Yeah, but I really think that Pittman speaks like he's in tune with the Arkansas fans.
He is.
Minus if he has a losing season. I mean, I just feel like they really like him there. He just fits in really well at Arkansas.
Some of their key guys, I feel like, Xavier Sorey, their linebacker, Cameron Ball is back at DT. Julian Neal at the cornerback slot. They got some decent talent in here, Brad.
They do.
But the problem that I'm just going to say that Arkansas had last year, they couldn't hold on to the football.
Yep.
They was fumbling every time you looked up.
Look at their depth chart right now at wide receiver. Like they went through the transfer portal, I think, with most of these guys. And most of these guys are entering their senior year. I don't even know if they have a prospect right now, except for maybe I'm looking at the current depth chart here. Maybe Jalen Brown, if you want to, because he is a sophomore. I don't really see anyone that could be like a top receiver on that team.
I'm going to tell you what's going to hurt Arkansas is losing Landon Jackson.
Oh, 1,000%.
Because there's not another guy like him on that defense. They got
some other guys. That's one of my keys to the season for Arkansas is, yes, Taylor Green's going to take the ball and run and pass and be good on that offense he's going to be Mr. Do-It-All, and you got Bobby Petrino. But if that defense does not improve, I just can't. It's going to be hard to get to 6 wins with that schedule.
I don't think they did a good. Yeah, I don't think they even did a good job replacing Landon Jackson. Like the only pass rusher I kind of like on there is Quincy Rhodes, and besides him, I really don't like the entire pass.
And the schedule does not set up well.
No question.
They play at Ole Miss, they play at Memphis, Notre Dame, at home, at Tennessee, A&M, Auburn. Just a murderer's row through October and September. You got to win at least one of those. Like you got to upset one of those teams.
Yeah, that's why I think the Notre Dame game is super important for them because they got it. Because out of all those games, like that, it's so tough in September. That's the one game where they have to go all in.
Isn't that Notre Dame game in Arkansas?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You win that game, the back end of the schedule is not as tough because you got Auburn, Mississippi State, in which I don't think Auburn's going to be that great, but there's a lot of people hyping them up. But
you also got LSU and then Texas and then Missouri. Like Missouri isn't that great, but you got LSU and Texas,
and then you got Missouri. You need to win the first two: A&M, Alabama A&M, Arkansas State. Maybe pull off a win in Memphis, win the Notre Dame game, and then hope you can knock off a Auburn or a Mississippi State.
That's why that Notre Dame game is going to make or break their season.
Y'all are talking about this, and y'all are acting like so. If they can beat Notre Dame, they can beat LSU. If they can beat Notre Dame, more than likely.
That is true.
That is true, Brad.
At that point, they may be quitting the season.
But the game is at LSU.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Y'all acting like they can just breeze by Notre Dame or something.
But to come back with you, it's at LSU.
It is. I get it.
It's different than being at home.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the Irish is not going to go easy in Arkansas.
Trust me, Fayetteville,
I can promise.
I know.
I'm high on the Irish, so that's just another foregone conclusion.
My team, baby. Let's go Fighting Irish. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Let's predict some win totals for Arkansas. Do you guys think they go bowling? John?
I think they hit a gutter ball.
All right, go ahead, Nicholas. What do you think? Give me a win total.
4.
Wow. Okay.
And I think the coach is fired mid-season.
I'm going to be lenient. I got a bunch of Arkansas fans that follow me, and I'm going to be as lenient as I can. They get 6 wins and go to a bowl. I think there's 6 wins.
I think there is 6 wins on this schedule. I really do. I feel like they can get there. Now, it's going to be tough.
That schedule ain't favorable.
But I do think I think they're going to be right on that bubble of 5 to 6 wins. That's where I think.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, and the schedule is not favorable. Let's just leave it at that. But
all right, y'all were talking about John already brought up Auburn. I'm going to start with this. I'm hearing in fall camp the last 2 weeks that quarterback play is not going well, and that Hugh Freeze has been upset, to be honest with you, several times.
Yeah.
Here's the problem we have, Brad. And this is not Auburn football, Nick. I wrote down these notes. So from 2019, right? Auburn has not won more than 6 games in a year.
That's crazy to even think about. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I get how like notable Hugh Freeze is. He is definitely on the coaching fired list. He is on the hot
Definitely on the hot seat.
And they only had 2 bowl wins. I think it was the 18 Music City Bowl and the 15 Birmingham Bowl. It's been a long, long stretch of mediocre play for a program, Brad, that's supposed to be elite.
Yeah. They once were between 2000 and 2015, they were pretty much an elite program.
Yeah,
They
were super elite. And I think in 2010 was when they won the whole.
When they won the title.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, John.
And I'll tell you another thing that a lot of people don't realize. The passing game was decent last year. Peyton Thorne wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
They needed more.
Lord, you were talking about turnovers.
But the turnovers was the problem.
The turnovers was – you talking about a key to the season. They cannot turn the ball over like they did last year.
Well, and they got Cam Coleman coming back. Eric Singleton from Georgia Tech, Horatio Fields from Wake Forest. Like, they have talent.
Jackson Arnold was a top quarter. He was the top quarterback in his class.
Yeah,
he was.
And you're forgetting one name. Kevin Falk is, that's a player too.
Keldrick Falk, yeah.
That's a player.
Yeah,
I see first rounder. He's probably
a top 10 pick. He's got size. He's got really good rushing skills. Some of the tackles they got they got a lot of depth. They got some decent guys in the portal. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm just going to throw this out here. And if there's Auburn fans watching, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Hugh Freeze has another season like he did a year ago,
he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah,
I don't care how good the recruiting is at all. If you cannot put together a winning source at the University of Auburn, where you've had names like Cam Newton, Ronnie Williams, Ronnie Brown, Cadillac Williams, all those names, that is an elite program. And if you can't get them to the top, it was an elite program. If you can't get them to the top this year and excel from 5 wins to possibly 8, I don't see him staying there. I don't think Auburn fans are going to go with it.
I don't see them firing him until they finish retiring Cam Newton's number. I think they're retiring the number against Georgia, if I remember correctly.
They are.
I just maybe around late October, early November is probably where they'll drop the hammer and get rid of Freeze. But I don't know, man. It's really tough.
Let's look at the schedule, John.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get it up here.
I got it right here. So they face Baylor. Then they got
Ball State, South Alabama, at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, Georgia at home, Missouri home, at Arkansas, Kentucky at home, at Vanderbilt, open date, Mercer, and at home against Alabama.
Yeah, not a great schedule.
Okay, so for me, key games, I'm going to give you 2. The Baylor game right off the bat, okay? And then I think the Oklahoma game are 2 absolute key games to start the season, first 4 weeks.
The Oklahoma game is the SEC opener. Jackson Arnold's going back home to face his old team. You lose that game, and you got A&M, Georgia, Missouri.
Yeah,
you got to win this game. And even the Baylor game. The Baylor game is not going to be a tough win either.
A tough win. Yeah,
I'm leaning towards Oklahoma being the bigger game because of that stretch. But starting off with Baylor, that's definitely number 2 on the list for
Listen,
key games.
he can't get smoked by Baylor in that first game.
Well, you get by Baylor, Brad. There are 4 decent wins in the non-conference games, okay? It's the SEC schedule that is daunting. But some of the big games are in Jordan-Hare. So,
right. I agree with that. All right. The big question here, because I believe that Hugh Freeze needs to get to 8 wins to keep his job. So
I don't see it. I don't see him getting to 8 wins. I'm sorry. I don't see it.
what do you think, John? Do you think he can get there to 8 wins, or where do you have this Auburn team?
they're going to be better, Brad. I think early on they'll split some games. It's not going to be what the fan base wants, but I think they're going to go to a bowl. Probably 7 wins, maybe 6.
But
It's not going to be the season that they all envisioned.
I'm more in the 5 to 6 range. I mean, you guys are giving too many wins to Auburn here. I don't see it. And the thing that terrifies me, we mentioned it earlier, the fact that there's bad quarterback play going on and Hugh Freeze is not happy about it terrifies the living heck out of me.
Well, and you really don't know what Jackson Arnold's going to do either. Like, he's talented, he's got the arm, but you don't know.
He's just. I've seen some clips. Like, he was screaming and hollering at Jackson Arnold in one of them. I mean, I'm talking about in the fall camp, like just a few days ago.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he didn't lose his voice during those practices. It's bad. It was bad.
I mean, I'm going to be with you guys close. I'm going to say they get 7 wins, but man, I could really see 6 if it falls apart.
Yeah,
I mean, 6 or 7 wins is where I think they are.
And do you think if Hugh Freeze doesn't get to that mark, do you think they just blow it up and get rid of everyone in the coaching staff?
I kind of think he needs to get to 8. I think he needs to get to 8. I really do. I think the fan base expects.
But the problem you're going to have is that will be what the third or the second or third coach they've had in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be, but we'll see what happens.
You're basically recycling coaches on the Titanic.
I get it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but they're in a really rough spot.
We're going to move on to Florida, guys. So this time last year, didn't look like Billy Napier was going to make it at Florida either, but he come on late in the season. John, do you think they can keep that momentum for the entire season this year?
I do. I think this is probably the best team Florida's had under Napier. They got depth, they got talent, they got DJ Lagway. They didn't lose much out of the portal. The line is pretty strong on the defensive side. Like I said, they got a rising star at quarterback, Lagway. They might have the best kicking game in the SEC. For those lovable kickers and special teams out there, they got probably one of the best kickers in the country.
You think he gets drafted when he goes into the NFL draft?
I do. I think he's one of the tops. But they need to be more better in close games. That was their major problem. They need to be really good in the early part of the season and not kind of flag off in the middle of the year, because that's what happened last year. They started out really slow and then they kind of got hot and it kind of felt.
They went 6-1 in the last 7 games, so they got hot.
They challenged Georgia. They beat a good LSU team. So, I mean, they was really playing good football towards the end of the year last year.
And thank God they kept Banks, the interior defensive tackle, because there was
getting Banks back was
that was a big keep for them, because
I think their key to their season though is the turnovers. That's another one with them.
Yeah.
They turned it over multiple times in some of the games. I think
I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I think their biggest key is, John? I think it's the health of DJ Lagway.
Yeah, if he's healthy, he's fantastic.
Plain and simple. I mean, he's had some health issues. He has still been lingering some stuff and not been full practice, even in fall camp. I'm not sure what to expect from Lagway to start this season out. He has not been full go, not even as of now. So I'm just not sure. So his health is absolutely going to be a
Yeah.
key to this.
Because their backups are not that great. Like I know Harrison Bailey is, I think, the next man up. I'm looking at their depth chart right now. Aiden Warner, Clay Millen, Tarnell Jones.
It's not good.
Point is, it's not good. It's not good.
So key players, absolutely. DJ Lagway is probably the keyest player that they have.
Yeah,
and I think I'm going to tell you where I think if they've really turned the corner or not, Brad, is beating Miami and LSU on the road. And, you pull off
LSU on the road is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, yes. And you got Kentucky on the road. You got I think Ole Miss on the road. You got
Texas on the road too.
You got Tennessee and Florida State at home.
No, I'm sorry. No, Texas is a home game. My mistake.
There's going to be a surprise or two in here where they upset somebody. Now, there's going to be a loss somewhere too. I mean, whether it's at Kentucky, Georgia, at Ole Miss.
I agree with that.
I think they'll get bowl eligible. And I think you're going to see a better Gators team. I think you're going to see more Billy Napier ball that you expected to see when he first got there with the talent that he has. And I think the Gators are going to be quite surprised this year, the fans, what Billy Napier's going to pull out of his hat.
All right. So I know you're kind of thinking it's a surprise team. I've already heard you talk about it. So let's look at their schedule, and I want to kind of deep dive into that because everybody has been saying they might have the toughest schedule in the land. I actually think their schedule is a little bit lighter than last year, in my opinion.
They play LIU, Long Island.
Hey, I'm from there. I should go to that game.
play USF at LSU, at Miami, Texas at home, at A&M, Mississippi State at home, Georgia and Jacksonville, at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, Tennessee at home, and Florida State at home.
That's
like I think Florida State is not as strong. I mean, you've got Kentucky, you've got Mississippi State, you've got the
South Florida.
South Florida, the Long Island. I mean, there's some winnable games on that schedule, to be quite honest with you.
I just think they're going to take a step forward, and I think they're going to improve on the 8-win season they had a year ago.
That's a big statement, John, to say that they're going to improve on the 8-win.
I'm a very big believer in this Gator team.
Okay, key games. Before we get to that, I'm gonna let you say that in a minute. But man, that's a bold statement if you ask me. All right, key games. Nicholas, I'll go to you first.
Probably, it's got to be LSU, right?
Yeah.
It's either LSU for me or Georgia. Those are the two that I think of.
I mean, guys, I think Miami right off the bat. We're talking about a top 10 team. Like they're 10th, I think, in the AP poll.
Yeah, I believe they are 10th. Yeah. God, that's got to be number 3 on my list. I just think the LSU is more of an important game.
I'm going to say this though.
Now, if Florida loses that Miami game right off the bat, the problem that Florida has had the last 4 or 5, Florida's another team that used to be powerhouse, and the last 5, 6, 7 years they just haven't been there. Same thing as Auburn we were just talking about. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if this Florida team starts out in the hole 2 or 3 games again, that's exactly what they've done every single year the last 7, 8 years.
Well, I'm gonna go a step further. They play LIU at home, USF at LSU at Miami. All right. It's tough to win on the road. I get it. At LSU, at Miami, tough environments.
Yep.
They win those games. and you're 4-0 going into the open date, and you got a matchup with Texas coming at home, that is going to tell me a lot about where this program's going.
I just don't think they're going to win those games. I mean, they might
either.
split. They might split, but it's possible that they lose both of those games on the road.
I actually got them 8-4, and maybe toss a upset in there somewhere, maybe get 9. So
I'm going to go with an even 500 record at 6-6.
See, that's a big difference. Can they get to 8 wins, John? But I think that's the ceiling. I think you're talking about the ceiling.
It's not just the ceiling; it's like the chimney on top of the ceiling. If you know where I'm going.
I mean, I just feel like that's the absolute top of the echelon. I mean,
I think
I'm gonna say 7-5. I just don't. I'm just not there yet. Billy Napier hasn't proven it to me. I think it all rides on DJ Lagway, and I'm not sure that he can stay healthy.
That's why I have the 6-6.
I'm just not sure he can stay healthy.
I don't know. This year's going to be super telling for him.
And stay healthy. Could they get to 9 and he just have a stellar year? Yes, but I'm just not a believer in that yet. I haven't seen it.
What's ironic about this team, and it's sort of like the Anthony Richardson type of team, where got the talent, but the problem is they're too raw and they're too injury prone.
And they're too injury prone. Exactly.
I don't know about the attitude issues, because I think this team is more disciplined than Anthony Richardson is currently now, but those are the two things that stand out.
Yeah.
It's the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
The rawness.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to get to Georgia. I mean, Georgia, many don't realize this, but Georgia won the SEC last year, beat Texas twice last year, to be honest with you. Not once, but twice. And in my opinion, they're still the top of the SEC. I know that Texas wants to scream that they are, but I still think Georgia is. What is your opinion on what this Georgia team will do and what Kirby Smart has done in the offseason? Because I think he has chewed their ass.
Dude, he is the best. He is the best coach in the NCAA, and it's not even close.
There's a lot of question marks about Gunnar Stockton and what he can do. The defense had a down year last year by their standards. I think the offense has got to get a little bit more explosive. Listen, when you talk about Kirby, there's going to be NFL starters all over that team. Nobody
10, 12,
nobody kind of else jumps up at them talent-wise unless you're Ohio State. And they got a decent schedule. I think it's going to be another great year. I think they'll get back to the college football playoff. There's a lot to like about this Bulldog team. They brought in who was it? Zachariah Branch. From USC. He's a little bit of shake and bake. He's one of those guys that can kind of get loose. They expected him to get really explosive in the passing game. Gunnar Stockton. I don't think Gunnar is as talented as Carson Beck is, but you got to remember something though. Georgia won 2 titles.
Listen, I think Gunnar Stockton is more talented than Stetson Bennett, and we all know what Stetson.
God.
Well, that's what I said. He won 2 titles.
Stetson Bennett. I don't care anyone says Stetson Bennett is the definition of a scrub college quarterback.
See, he won 2 national titles,
and he's a scrub. I know he is.
Gunnar does not have to be perfect. He just has to be a game
manager. That's my point. All offseason, all we've been talking about is Gunnar Stockton's not that great. He's not going to be able to do it. He's not this. He's not that. But I'm going to tell you right now, there was a guy by the name of Stetson Bennett that won back-to-back national championships for Kirby Smart. I think Gunnar Stockton can be better than Stetson Bennett.
Well, they get C.J. Allen back. They get Dalen Everett back.
Ernest Green, who's a
Ernest Green,
tremendous blocker. He's back.
And I'm going to tell you, they probably got the best tight end in the country in Oscar Delp. So
that's not a surprise that they've got a best tight end. I mean, come on.
Oodles of NFL talent oozing from this team.
Oh my God. And on this defense too, I always love to call the Georgia Bulldogs basically the Philadelphia Eagles minor league football team. But there's
I'm just going to say it, Texas. I'm just going to say it, Texas. Until you knock off the big boy, you're still in the lower end of the pool.
I'm gonna say, I know we're jumping ahead. I know we're jumping ahead here, bro, but we're going. This team's going undefeated. I don't see a loss at all of that schedule.
This schedule sets up good for them. Yes,
that schedule is a piece of cake for them.
Wow. Okay. I know they play Bama and they play Auburn. So who else do they got on the schedule?
Texas John? Is probably Texas.
Austin P, Charlotte, Marshall at Mississippi State, Florida and Jacksonville, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Ole Miss at Tennessee, home against Texas, and at Auburn.
I think Texas is their key game.
This is a schedule for a team that could probably win the title again.
Listen, I'm a big fan of Kirby Smart. Like, I love what he does. I think he's the best coach in the country. I think it's hands down he's the best coach in the country. I love the talent. He just replaces and replaces and replaces. I'm going to say this. Key game, I do believe, is Texas and Alabama. I'm going to say Texas and Alabama is their two key games for this season. But from there, John, let's get to win totals. What do you think for your win total here for Georgia?
11-1.
I think that's fair. You got them undefeated? Yes. I'm going to say 11-1. I think they're going to split between Texas and Alabama, and I think they run the table otherwise.
Yeah, I just the only loss I see there is maybe Texas. You could maybe argue Alabama, but I just think Georgia's too talented. The only way
that they split those games between Texas and Alabama.
That's fair. The only way Georgia's season could be like going down the tubes is if injuries happen. That's it. Yeah. I really just don't see how this team could disappoint unless it's the injuries. Oh, here we go. I just saw what team we're up to. Here we go.
So we're at Kentucky, guys, and if you guys know, with College SportsCast here, I do help cover Kentucky sports, so we do a lot of writing, but we also write a lot for SEC stuff. But let's get to Kentucky, John. They had a really rough. Let's just call it what it is. They had a really rough year last year in year 12 of Mark Stoops. And they have went into the portal. They have 50 new guys on this roster this year, John. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I'm going to ask you this. The first thing I want to ask you about is Bush Hamdan. He brought Bush Hamdan back, and that offense was god awful. And he brought him back for a second year because he hasn't had any continuity. He's replaced coordinators like 5 straight years.
To be fair, some of the players that were in the program last year just did not mesh with the offensive coordinator and the way he wants to run things.
No, not at all.
And you know the drill with Stoops, right? You get a good team, you start out 6-0 and you do really good, and then you have a fallout towards the end of the year. Last year did not make no sense to me. The offense fell flat on its face. The defense couldn't do anything. Now they did beat Ole Miss, which was the saving grace of the season, I guess.
And the odd thing is, John, is they should have beat Georgia and Ole Miss and had a terrible team and a terrible season, a terrible offense.
They lost a lot of players from the transfer portal. They did a really good job going through the portal now. I think the offensive line is going to be a lot better. The offense has some playmakers. Now, one bad year is going to be okay, Kentucky fans. You can't let it turn in 2 years.
No, I agree with that 100%.
And I'm going to tell you what my keys to the season is. Offense has got to be better. They don't need to be so explosive, Brad. Like, you're not going to tell me they need to go out here and throw 60 points on the board, okay? They just have to be good on third downs, get some passes. And I'm just going to say it, hell, get past midfield.
Yeah.
Last year, they couldn't even get past midfield.
Yeah, there was games they couldn't even get to midfield. I mean, let's be honest.
There was no help from the ground game. They had no running game. It was non-existent. The pass protection was really bad.
They threw the ball to 2 receivers, and that was it. And everybody in the stadium, including the janitors, knew the ball was going to them.
Including the janitors, basically. This guy.
Well, and then you kind of get Kendrick Law from Alabama. You got Dante Dowdell from Nebraska. Jason Patterson will be in there.
Who's going to be your quarterback this year?
Zach Calzada, from what I've heard.
It's going to be Zach Calzada or Bowles pushing him, but it's going to be Zach.
Here's the problem I have with Zach Calzada. And, I love his arm. I love what he done at A&M, but he hasn't played at the D1 level in a few years. There's a lot of pressure on this kid.
I think his awareness too is a little questionable too, because there's times where he just doesn't adapt to pressure.
I'm going to
makes a bad decision.
Tell you what I think is going to be the best unit, and that's the secondary.
I absolutely agree. Even though they lost Maxwell Harrison, I think that secondary is going to be really good.
Jordan Lovett, Jordan Lovett is just really, really good. And
Ty Waller. How about this DJ Waller kid? That kid.
DJ Waller, Ty Bryant. Ty Bryant. I mean, I'm serious. They got
you kind of add in David Gusta from Washington State.
Yeah.
Then you have the kid from Arkansas from the offensive line, Joshua Braun. I think if I read correctly, he only allowed 1 sack all year last year.
He was all SEC. He was all SEC.
If you can't have a better year this year, and
it's going to come down to, can you put points on the damn board? That's what it's going to come down to.
And I'm looking at Kentucky's schedule. It's not as bad as people are making it out to be. They still have a big stretch with Georgia, Texas, and Tennessee, and they still have a big stretch, but they really have a solid schedule. I'll go through the schedule if you want me to, John. They face Toledo, then Ole Miss, then Eastern Michigan, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee Tech, Vanderbilt, and Louisville. That's a really, really lighter schedule compared to others in the SEC.
Here's where I'm kind of at with this. I think you're going to see a much improved Kentucky team. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win 10 games, but I think this year's version with the portal and some of the guys that they brought in, I think you're going to see a better version of that Kentucky team and a Mark Stoops team. It's going to be a very interesting team because of the pieces. I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to be honest with you, John. My key game, and I know everybody's going to pick the Ole Miss game probably. My key game is on the road at South Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely 1,000% agree. That was going to be my pick for the key game too.
That's my key game is on the road at South Carolina. And I'm going to say this. Shane's had your number the last 2 years, and he walked into Kroger Field last year and whipped your ass. And I'm just going to say it. He walked in and whipped your ass last year. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't go down there and show something and put some damn points on the board, there's going to be a lot of Kentucky fans that are upset. And I'm just a lot of.
And I'm going to say this, Brad. There should be more firepower on this offense. They're going to take more chances, especially with the quarterback play. And that's where I come in with the schedule. I look at this schedule. It's tough. You got Vanderbilt, which is going to be better.
I'm not so sure about Vanderbilt. I'm not a big fan of the. We'll get to Vanderbilt later, but I'm not a big fan of their coach. I'm not sold on them.
I'm gonna go and say we beat Ole Miss again. Ole Miss is going to be kind of breaking in a new quarterback, just like us. If you pull that off, you go to South Carolina, you're 4-0 going to Georgia, right? And can you manage to win one of Georgia, Texas, and Tennessee, which I don't think they're going to beat Georgia and Texas, but can you beat Tennessee at home? And then you go through November. There's a chance there you could get 7 wins.
There is. You got to put points on the board. I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over. 12.8 points a game in the SEC will not win you ball games under no circumstance in no season.
Not at all.
I'm hopeful that the running game with the 2 guys they picked up will be better. So if the offensive line and the running game is better, I believe that there's possibly 7 wins on this schedule. But I am going to just pick it 6-6. But I do believe if the running game and the offense is better, they could get to 7-5.
I think the defense will be better than people think too. I just think,
yeah,
man, the secondary is going to be better. I think now they got probably 2 of the best front 4 guys in the portal. Gusta's one, and that Grace. I think they're going to be a big plus up front.
Hey, remember the name Sam Green from USC? He's a sophomore that transferred from USC. I'm talking about Southern Cal. He's an edge rusher. Sam Green.
I'm going to say this, and we'll move on. But I think where they're going to have to get their 6th win is between the Auburn and Vanderbilt. That November slate.
Or Florida home.
You're gonna have to pick up one of the bowl wins there, or the eligibility chances.
Before we move on, I want to do my. I didn't get to do my win total.
Go ahead.
I'm back and forth with this team because there's a part of me that wants to go to the 8-win range because I think there is the talent there, but the quarterback play I'm still unsure about. And there's still a bunch of question marks. So I think I'm going to go side with Bradley here and go with the 6-6 range. I think that's the safe play here.
That's where I got it.
The ceiling is the 8-win mark, though.
Yeah, I think the ceiling is probably 8. The top of the ceiling is probably 8.
But there's a lot to like. There's a lot to like.
I think the bottom is like 4 or 5, to be honest.
Probably 5, but 4 I can see. But there's still a lot to like with Kentucky. A lot.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are going to get to LSU, man. And LSU has a lot of good hype behind them. Brian Kelly, I think, is in his 4th year now at LSU. They got another humongous game starting off the week 1 with John. They have a lot of pieces. What do you think about this LSU team?
It's hard to really gouge sometimes with Kelly. He's 0-3 in season openers at LSU. They had the collapse last year. The defense has not been great. This is a stat that'll blow you, man. Kelly has half as many double-digit win runs at LSU as Kentucky's enjoyed in 109 years of college football.
Wow, really? Did not know that. Did not know that.
Thanks for that number, John. We all wanted to hear that one. Remind me to smack him the next time I see him.
Well,
I'm not going to do that. I don't want to assist in it. I don't want to assist in a crime.
Well,
Don't make
he's
me do
easy.
that.
He's easy to jump on, Brian Kelly. I defend the guy a lot, but he's one of the all-time winningest coaches at Notre Dame. Last year he had 8-win season. No, he won 9 last year.
They won 9, yeah. I think he's won 9 or more every year at LSU.
This is his 4th year, okay?
Yeah.
It's time to win something at LSU. You got probably one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Garrett Nussmeier. You got a slew of talent coming back offensively. If you don't win this year, when's LSU ever going to win is my question.
Yeah. And their quarterback will be the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. I think he's that good.
You heard it here first.
I think he's that
good. My
good.
key to the season is defense. They need to make more – they have probably some of the best defensive backs in the country, but they were young. And last year the secondary wasn't bad, but their pass defense got roasted by USC. I mean, absolutely roasted.
And they're lucky they got what's his name, Mansour Delane back, because I thought he was going to declare last year.
Well, and they get Tyree Adams, the offensive tackle. He's a good recruit.
And Harold Perkins too, the linebacker. That dude's
dude's
another player.
They got
Harold
Perkins from Florida State. Like, he's always had good upside. My biggest key for them is how healthy will Harold Perkins Jr. be? Like, he's their go-to man. He's the one that kind of anchors that defense.
Yeah, I mean, having him back this coming year is going to be huge for them. I agree with that a lot. But guys, that let's get to, because that first game, I'm going to get to the schedule rundown. Outside of Texas going to Ohio State, LSU going to Clemson is about as rough as an opening game as you could possibly have on the road.
100% agree.
They've lost 5 straight season openers since 2019.
Like, that's a tough ass. Like, that to go on the road against the Clemson Tigers in Death Valley 2 or whatever you want to call it. I mean, seriously, that is a tough place to play.
That and their game against Alabama later in the year is going to be super tough for them.
But I got them. I think I'm going to go with them 10-2 this year.
We'll run down their schedule first before we.
They play at Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Florida, Southeastern Louisiana, at Ole Miss, South Carolina, at Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, at Alabama, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and at Oklahoma to end the season.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I know we're jumping ahead here. I'm going to agree with John. I got 10-2 here.
10-2. See, God, I don't know, guys. Like, I like this LSU team, but man, when I look at that schedule and they're at Clemson, they got Florida, they've got Texas A&M, they've got Alabama, they've got. I mean, I could easily see them going 9-3 again. I really can. I think I'm going to pick them at 9-3. And they missed the 10-win mark. Maybe they get it in the bowl season. But I think that's where they land. I think the Clemson game is going to be like, that's just too tough. It'll shock me if LSU wins that game on the road.
I can see your point of view, but listen, as long as Garrett's their quarterback, I trust that team 100%. And I think that they got the pieces back on defense. I feel like they
also get back.
Have y'all not seen Brian Kelly coach at end of ball games?
It's brutal.
He's really questionable, guys. Like, seriously, great coach, great recruiter, but at the end of a game, I'm just not sure where his head's at sometimes.
That's true. That I will 100% agree with you on.
Like, he scares me, like, with some of the stuff that he does. Like, he'll score a touchdown, and need the extra point to tie the game, and he'll go for 2. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Dan Campbell syndrome. Dan Campbell syndrome.
He's got that Les Miles syndrome in him.
Like, what the hell are you doing, man? Kick the extra point, go to overtime, and win the game. If you lose, do you not understand that you lose the damn game if you don't get in the end zone?
Again, Dan Campbell syndrome.
I mean, what is wrong with you? I just don't trust him when it comes to end of the game decisions. I really don't. Not at all.
I don't blame you.
We got a question down there, Brad, real quick.
Oh, okay. Which one are we talking about here?
Says, question for you guys, thinking that you guys are S fans. Do you agree with pushing the SEC teams up into the top 15 that didn't make the playoffs or barely won 8 games over ACC teams that won 9 games or more and made the playoff?
Listen, I think here I'm going to answer that question by saying this. For me, I think strength of schedule means something. And I think it's hard to have an argument when the last place SEC team out of 16 teams would be the second toughest schedule in the ACC this year. Strength of schedule. The last place in the SEC is Missouri. Strength of schedule. If you put their current schedule in the ACC, they would be second in the ACC. Like, it's just, I don't even understand how you can have an argument against that, to be honest with you. I mean, you have got to go with a strength of schedule. I mean, you have to. If not, why are we playing tough games?
Yep.
Why are we even playing why are we playing out of conference games? Why is LSU playing Clemson? Why is Alabama playing Florida State?
I can give you one answer for that, Brad. You want to know what the answer is? Money.
They're not going to get more money. They're not getting more money than they would making the college football playoff.
100% agree with you, but that's the reason why they're starting with that, because those two teams are going to be viewership gold for college football.
I agree with you there. The preseason rankings don't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, the preseason rankings are a bunch of nonsense.
Like you said,
they're going to change a little bit, guys, but they're not going to massively change the strength of schedule.
Yeah. Let's get to
It's not going to massively change. It will change a little. There's a little wiggle room, but it's not going to massively change.
I'll tell you who doesn't have a lot of wiggle room: Ole Miss. They don't have a lot of wiggle room either.
All right, guys, we're going to get back to our preview, because we do some debate shows and we can talk about this stuff for hours, but our preview is kind of why we're here. But we'll do some of that and answer some questions down the road, guys, but we're trying to get through the preview. These previews take a couple of hours, 2.5 hours.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Anything above 4 wins here is going to be a good season for them.
Terrible. This team's terrible.
Last year
horrible.
Wasn't just awful.
Year two of Jeff Levy. I think if he can get to 4 wins, that'd be a plus. They have a very, very, very tough schedule.
The talent is far better, I think, this year, but there's still, like I said, a lot of work to be done this year. Any positive step will be a big step. It starts with Levy just, being Levy, getting far more out of the offense. Last year, listen, Brad, they played against a lot of teams that were not great in the SEC, and they looked atrocious. Toledo beat them at home. They just did not look like an SEC team. And
It was year one after a massive departure for Jeff Levy last year. So I'm going to give him a pass on that. But he definitely has to look better. I think the key to the season here, guys, is Blake Shapen. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy.
You know, he had 8 touchdown passes. I think he got hurt early in the year. You know, Van Buren left for LSU. They got some good receivers in the portal. Jordan Mosley's back. They got Anthony Evans from Georgia. Marcus Allen from Eastern Michigan. No, that's not Marcus Allen from USC either. Hayden Williams from Ole Miss. They got a nice group. A lot of them ain't stars.
You know what I think is another key to the season? I don't know if you mentioned this or
not.
Well,
it's the line. It's the line too.
Yeah.
The line was pretty bad last year.
Yeah. I was about to say that their O-line is a complete mess. And
their defense, what got me last year is their defense couldn't do anything against the run.
That's another problem.
They had some of the worst pass rush I've ever seen. And, you know, the only 2 schools that scored fewer than 30 points on this bunch before Ole Miss, you know who they were? UMass and Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
I mean –
yeah.
Let's just call it what it is.
Let's get to some key players. I already named Blake Shapen. He's got to stay healthy for this team. If they're going to even get to 4 or 5 wins, he has to stay healthy. So give me a couple of other names, guys.
Oh, boy. I'm not a big fan of this roster at all.
I mean,
maybe Jordan Mosley?
Kobe Keenum. He was at Kentucky. He takes over at center. I think Blake Steen, he was from Virginia. I think he'll be good in the tackle spot. My biggest issue is, you know, you got to get a pass rush, Brad.
Yeah, their pass rush is probably the worst in the SEC.
Well, they got Red Hibbler from NC State. I think he's a really good pass rush. Will Whitson, he came from Coastal. They just got to improve from what they did a year ago to now. Like I said, positive steps are big stepping stones.
Let's talk about one of the things that doesn't look all that great for them, and that is their schedule. Let's look at their schedule because it's pretty rough. I think they play 7 ranked teams.
I think they play 8.
It might be 8.
Might be 8. Okay, go ahead. Let's look at it.
It's at Southern Miss, Arizona State, Alcorn State, Northern Illinois, Tennessee, A&M, Florida, Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, Missouri, and Ole Miss.
Am I the only one that thinks that they might get 1 win out of that schedule? Because that's brutal.
It is brutal.
I think there's 5 wins there.
I don't know if I see 5.
I'm gonna call it like it is. I'm gonna call it like it is, guys. Their key game is Arizona State coming to Mississippi State, coming to them. It's at home. That's it. Arizona State's going to be a great team out of the Big 12. They really are. They can push to win the Big 12.
If they could beat Arizona State, which I don't think they will, even though Starkville's a tough environment, they could be 4-0 going into the Tennessee game.
Exactly. And that would be a huge improvement. That Arizona State game at home, getting them to come to your house in Starkville with the cowbells and everything else, if they can pull off a miracle win in that game, it turns the whole season.
Does. I agree.
That's why one of their keys to their schedule has to be if Jeff Levy could improve as a coach, because
that's where I got on that with Arizona State. That's the key game, because you kind of win that game, it sets up for you. But
I agree with you.
I'm going to go with 5 and 7, Brad. I think there's 4 wins in the front half, and I just don't see a win in the back half unless you knock off Texas at home, Georgia at home, the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not great. Let's just leave it at that. It's not
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, right, John.
I'm
Yeah,
going
right.
2 wins. I'm going 2 wins here. I just don't see
Whoa.
it. They have
I
a
think that's what they did last year was 2 wins, but
yes.
I'm going to give them 4. I'm going to give them an improvement. I'm going to say they go 4-8 in this year, and then if he does come back for a third year, he absolutely has to get them to a bowl game next year.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I can't trust this team to get to 4 wins. I'm sticking with 2.
All right, Missouri, guys. Missouri is a conundrum. I think they have one of the easiest schedules in the SEC. I just talked about strength of schedule. They have the last strength of schedule preseason in the SEC. I think they have a pretty decent team. I love Eli Drinkwitz as a coach, but they aren't getting the love that they have gotten the last couple of years. John, what do you think about this Missouri team?
I love this Missouri team. I think they're playing in the recruiting with the big boys, especially in the portal. And I
Yep.
think it's, they got a schedule that they missed quite a bit of the big games.
They do. Their
and they really
schedule, I think, by far is the easiest schedule in the SEC.
And the good things come to Columbia. So, here's a stat that kind of blows your mind. Georgia is the only team in the SEC to win more games over the last 2 seasons than Missouri.
Yep.
If I don't tell you where Eli Drinkwitz has turned this program from and into.
Key to the season for me is going to be their quarterback.
Yes.
Brady Cook's gone. They went out and they got the Penn State quarterback transferring in there.
Prabula, I think his name is, right?
Prabula, or however you pronounce his name.
Bo Prabula,
Yeah,
I think his name is. Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, he was a backup, but he played a little bit there. He looked okay in a spot play here and there. But what are they really getting?
I don't think it's the quarterback.
I think that's going to be an absolute key. I really do.
I don't think it's the quarterbacks. I think it's at wide receiver.
Yeah.
You just don't replace talent like Luther Burden and Theo Weiss. Like
I do like Joshua Manning a little bit.
I like Marquise Johnson. I think he's good. They got Kevin Coleman from Mississippi State.
Oh, I forgot they got him.
They got him. Nate Knoll and Marcus Carroll, those two were really, really good.
The defense has been pretty good at Missouri over the years under Drinkwitz. This Missouri team is not getting the respect they deserve, I don't think.
Well, and they get Damon Wilson from Georgia, Nate Johnson from App State. This defense to me has always been underrated. I don't know what they're ranked up in the highs in the SEC, but they always play with a swagger. They always play scrappy. They got a good secondary. They get Jalen Catalon from UNLV, former Arkansas Razorback. I like this Mizzou team, and I think, like you said, Brad, I think the schedule sets up for them to really make some noise and maybe even get to the college football playoff.
I think it's absolutely possible, and I know everybody is going to think that we're blowing them up, but I'm telling you, you look at this schedule, Nicholas, I'll let you do the schedule rundown if you've got it up.
I'm actually pulling it up right now. Give me a second.
You want me to do it real quick?
Hold on, it's loading right now. You go ahead and do it.
It's Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina, UMass, Alabama, Auburn, Vanderbilt, A&M, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Arkansas.
Honestly, I called them the dark horse team of the SEC.
Now, I'm going to say this. I seen it in another book. I think it was last week I read something. They had predicted Missouri to go 7-6 or 6-6.
Yeah, I don't see it at all.
I don't see it with this schedule. I don't.
I could.
But like you said, Brad, it's all about quarterback play and like who steps up in the receiver category. But I'm going to go and say their biggest game is Kansas, right out of the gate, because you got the border war. I think getting that game back is pretty huge.
It is, but that Alabama game is big as well.
I think it is. I do. I think I'm gonna go 10-2, Brad. I'm not one.
You look at that schedule. I think they can get there.
I'm not one to pump up Missouri quite a bit, but I think the schedule benefits them.
I really want to go with you guys at 10 wins. I really do. It's just the quarterback play is what's holding me back here. With how easy the schedule is, it shouldn't be that bad. But I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go with 8. I'll play it safe.
Well, I can see 10. I'm gonna play it safe and go 9-3. That's where I'm at, really. But I can actually see this team getting 10 wins and pushing for college football playoff, especially with that schedule.
I'm going to say something about this next team, and I want you to let me start out with it because there's something I want to say about this because everybody was talking about how Texas would evolve in the SEC and how they would handle adversity and how, Texas could navigate, through the Big 12 and then they come to the SEC. And everybody thought, oh, well, Oklahoma can too. Well, it's back on the other side of the foot. Texas is actually dominating the SEC, and Oklahoma is the redheaded stepchild that's just trying to get in the doors.
I mean, I agree with that. But, John, if you look at Texas' schedule the last 2 years and you look at Oklahoma's schedule the last 2 years, it's daylight and dark.
Well, and to be fair, Brad, I'll be honest with you, they had some pieces last year. They seemed like everybody got hurt on it. They had injuries going everywhere. Jackson Arnold didn't work out, which we saw went to Auburn. They lost to Tennessee. South Carolina, I think the blowout against Ole Miss. They lost at Missouri. They got whipped by Texas. That was one. When I watched that game, I thought, you know what? Oklahoma is nowhere near the level that I thought they would be in the SEC. And then the final key to the season was the loss to Navy in the Armed Force Bowl. Is it fixable? I think. They got John Mateer, which I think he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the country.
And he's got a nice receiver to work with in Deion Burks.
He's got Jay Knott, the former Cal running back. The receiving core is absolutely elite.
Deion Burks is such a great receiver. I can't wait to see how he plays.
Well, and they got a good linebacker core too. Like their
defense,
the defense is kind of decent. And Brent Venables is going back to his normal running the defense.
He's calling his defense again, so that ought to help the defense.
If he can do it at Clemson, can he do it at Oklahoma? And I think the answer is yes. It's just going to take some time and the fans to be a little patient with what Venables is trying to do.
All right, I'm going to give you 2 keys real quick that I think is going to be absolutely key. Managing this tough schedule, because they have a very tough schedule. And second, the OC from Washington State and John Mateer, how they adapt and play with this Oklahoma team is going to be absolute key. 2 keys that absolutely has to happen.
I agree with you.
All right, let's look at their schedule because I think they have one of the toughest schedules in the SEC. Also think they had one of the toughest schedules last year as well.
Yeah, they play Illinois State, Michigan, at Temple, Auburn, Kent State, Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. All right.
But those last 7 games, there's no schedule in the country that's more tough.
I'm going to go through here. Illinois State, they win that game. I think they upset Michigan at home.
Okay. I can give you that.
I'm not a believer in Michigan this year. At Temple, I think they should win.
Yeah.
I think they should beat Auburn at home.
Yeah, I'll give you that too.
I think they should beat Kent State. So that's what? 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5.
That's 5.
Then from there,
those last 7,
it's debatable.
can they even find 3 wins in those last 7? I mean, honestly,
I think you got to maybe pull an upset in the Red River Shootout against Texas.
That Ole Miss game's going to be key for them.
The Ole Miss game at home. I don't think you're going on the road to beat Tennessee. Maybe Missouri at home.
I think
this
it's going to be tough to find 2 or 3 wins in those last.
It's not as tough as the Mississippi State schedule, but it's still a tough schedule to run through. This is tough because you know they can win the first 5.
They
pretty much, you know.
If they can beat Michigan, and I think that's at the Big House, is it not?
No, it's in Oklahoma.
Is it neutral?
No, it's in Norman.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's
well, that's a positive.
The Temple game is kind of a weird game because you're playing that could be a kind of a death trap in a way. But I think they get by that game. But all right, I'm gonna go 8 wins. I think there's 8 maybe there on the board, but maybe 7.
That's what
I saw somebody.
I think Brent Venables needs to get to 8 wins. I really do.
I saw somebody put them at 9-3, but I just don't see it with that schedule.
I don't either, man.
I'm gonna go with 7.
Yeah. That's exactly where I'm going, is 7. I think 7-5. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not sure that 7-5 is going to keep Brent Venables there.
I don't think I'm not 100% confident in that either.
Honestly, I think he has to get to 8 wins. I really do, to be safe. All right, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. He's replacing a lot. He's replacing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect, John, from this Ole Miss team?
Well, I know they got Perkins back. They got Austin Simmons.
They're highly ranked again, but he's replacing a ton.
I don't know if they have the proper replacement for Dart too. I mean,
here's my thing.
Simmons is okay, but I don't think he's Jackson.
Here's my issue with Lane.
I don't either.
I like Lane. I think he's awesome. I like his social media beef that he does sometimes on Twitter. I think it's funny. I think it's just part of who he is. But can he ever win the big game? You know, because he's been in that moment.
John, I think this is the wrong year to be asking him, can he win the big game? Like that was the last 2 years. I think this is the wrong year. I'm more interested in can he hold this team together and still be a pretty good team? Because I'm not convinced. I mean, could this team go 6-6 or 7-5?
I'm going to tell you where they're really low at is in the running back room.
Yeah, their running back room is arguably one of the worst in the
SEC. They lost a shit ton of wide receivers on top of that, and their defense.
Well, they have a whole new
receiver. Walter Nolan. I'm not sure, but I mean, come on, man.
At least they were able to keep Harris, the interior. I can't say his first name very well.
Here's the thing. You know,
Perkins they kept.
Everybody wants to put the offense on radar, but the defense last year was tops in the nation. You know, they lost Walter Nolan, J.J. Pegues, Chris Paul, Trey Ament. Like,
it's a list. Like, I'm serious. I think this is the wrong season to be asking, can he win the big game? I just do.
I tell you where they're hurting. I think it is the secondary.
They're
going through a whole new system. They added, I think, Ricky Fletcher from South Alabama, Jalen Braxton from Arkansas.
I think they also added Sage Ryan.
Yeah, correctly. I'm going to tell you something about Sage Ryan. I did not like him at LSU. I just felt like he did not develop the way that I thought he was going to. Maybe a
I think it was a schematic fit. He just
or
didn't
maybe
fit
a change
LSU's
of,
defense.
or maybe a change of, address would help the kid. But he just, there's going to be a lot of new pieces in that secondary. I don't think they'll be number one in the country again this year when it comes to defense. Now, I could be
There's
wrong.
going to be a lot of new places all over the field on this LSU team.
But my biggest question, Brad, is Austin Simmons ready to be the guy? Like,
Listen,
he's
Jackson Dart, as great as he was in year one, I don't think he was ready to be under Lane Kiffin to be the guy. So if you're asking me if I think Simmons is going to be that kind of guy in year one, I'm going to say no.
At least the schedule isn't as bad as other teams are.
and their schedule
It is.
goes
It is.
Georgia State, at Kentucky, Arkansas, Tulane, LSU, Washington State, at Georgia, at Oklahoma, South Carolina.
That's three.
Citadel,
I'm sorry. That's three tough. That's a big three.
Florida,
tough stretch.
and then they got the Egg Bowl with Mississippi State.
I think
I'm going to be honest with you. Go ahead, Nicholas.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think that if you're looking at the key game here, probably either South Carolina or Oklahoma for me, because that's in their 3-game stretch.
Yeah.
And because I
think it's Kentucky again. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I think it's Kentucky. Because you got 3 games coming up after that. Arkansas, Tulane, and LSU. If you lose to that Kentucky team, that a lot of people are, let's just say
picking apart.
They're picking Toledo to beat them.
Yeah.
First game, that ain't going to bode well in Oxford.
2 in a row? Yeah, I doubt it.
So, I mean, should they get back to the college football playoff? Yes, but they're going to have some departures that's going to have to fill those holes if they want to get there.
Well,
I'm sorry.
And their future isn't that great too either.
I do not see college football playoff on this team. I just don't, guys. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm not there.
I actually think
I'm not
they go.
there.
I actually think they go 8-4, Brad. I think this is kind of a bridge year for them. After the last couple of years, I think they kind of have a little off season where they don't necessarily have the type of year that they've had the last couple. I just think the schedule is kind of tough on them.
Nicholas, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Brad. Like I just don't see this team as a playoff contending team. There's too many unknowns and question marks for me. I see them at around the 500 record at 6-6, maybe 7 wins. I just don't see them as a playoff team.
Man. I'm going to say that they are either 7 or 8 wins, but for this show, I'm going to put them at 7 wins. I think they go 7, maybe 7-5, 8-4. John said 8-4. I'll be a little different. I think it's maybe a 7-win team, which is not up to Lane Kiffin standards. Let's just be honest. All right, guys, we're going to move on to South Carolina. Now, this is a team, John, that I think is on the up and coming.
Yeah, I'm with you. They took a big step forward last year. 9-4. I think it was their first 9-win season since 17.
Yeah,
and it has a lot to do with Lenore Sellers.
Yeah,
their quarterback.
I mean, he's still a little raw, but there's a lot to like.
Here's my question: is South Carolina ready to take it to the next level? You got to.
Here's my key, John, and I'll let you talk about this, but they lost an absolute ton on the defensive side of the ball to the NFL, by the way. They lost a ton. I think, yes, with Sellers back and some of the offense is going to be really good. I think what possibly could hold this team back from a college football playoff run is the defense.
Yes, but you got to, they get Dylan Stewart back. They get Brian Thomas back. Clowney from Charlotte is there. Demon Clowney.
Jalen Kilgore is
yeah,
back, which I think is a big. I could see him as the starting cornerback.
And the
on
Xavion Hardy, he was a Kentucky target. He's there. There's enough talent on this defense, especially at linebacker. But how do they defend this schedule is my question. You know, are they ready for the big time is the question.
I think it depends on how it depends on how Sellers plays.
In their schedule, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's still pretty tough.
Yeah, I got it pulled right here. They out Virginia Tech.
But it's not your normal South Carolina horrible schedule.
Yeah, then they got to go to face South Carolina State, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Kentucky, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Coastal Carolina, Clemson, which is going to be a brutal game for them, and that's all the games.
Clemson's probably going to be out for blood after last season. So,
no question.
Last 2 seasons, yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be Kentucky. That's the key game for them, right?
Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't. I think it can be Virginia Tech. A lot of that is because
it's not Virginia Tech. I don't think.
I think from a father-son.
Yeah, I mean that's just a storyline. I don't think that's actually the key game. The storyline's there, yes, but I don't think it's a key game.
I think it's big for them because it's in Atlanta. Like, have they had a big opportunity like this on the national stage? Is what I'm saying.
If that's their key game, they're gonna have a shortcoming this year. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I think the at Missouri game is pretty big, right before Kentucky.
Oklahoma, don't they play Oklahoma? I think that's gonna be a key one.
I think it's late October.
Yeah, but yeah, that's when they have the stretch of LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss. That's in I think October-ish.
I think that Oklahoma game in the middle of that is a big one, to be honest with you.
That's fair. That's fair too. I still think the Kentucky game is a big one for them.
It is, because it's a big game for Kentucky as well. I said that, pretty plain and simple, that they come in and whipped our, at Kroger Field last year. So I agree with that.
I think I'm going to go 8-4, Brad. I think there's still some, I still think there's some juice left from a year ago with South Carolina. I just think they're hyping. I don't know, man. They're hyping this quarterback up pretty high. And I just think
I like South Carolina more than I like Florida, but you seem to like Florida.
Well, I do like Florida. I like both of them, but I think Florida just has a better quarterback. But his health is the problem.
See, I'm not so sure about that. I'm just not so sure about that either. I think Sellers might be better. I don't know. All right, Nicholas, what do you think for a win total here with South Carolina?
I'm probably leaning towards 8-2. That's probably where I'm going to go with. That's probably their ceiling. Their floor is probably 6.
I think their ceiling is 9. I would think the ceiling would be 9-3 with that schedule. A couple of losses during the regular season in the SEC, and Clemson maybe at the end, because I think it's at Clemson this year. They've lost 2 in a row there. I just don't see them winning that one. But I'm going to go with you guys and say 8-4. And I think that'll be a pretty good year for the Gamecocks, to be honest with you. I know they have some college football playoff hopes, but I'm just not so sure of that.
I don't think it happens this year. No.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Tennessee, guys. So, John, what do you think? What do you think about Tennessee? They just named their starting quarterback the other day, and I'll let you kind of talk about that. But go ahead, John.
This is a very interesting team.
Basically, swap quarterbacks with UCLA.
Yeah, Nico Iamalava, well, he left. They brought in Joey Aguilar. He was the quarterback at UC. It was sort of like a trade for a trade.
But he transferred from App State. He's never played at UCLA.
Yeah. They were stuck in a very interesting place. This whole, they return a lot of talent. They only return 3 stars on offense. They're going to miss Dylan Sampson more than they really think they are. That's
100%.
I think this team has mediocre written all over them.
I just don't.
That's exactly how I feel about them, and everybody thinks that they're going to be just as good as they have been. I don't see it.
I'm going to say this. I think Josh Heupel's a really good coach. They got a good defense. I think they'll be even better. They return a lot on the defensive side. It's football time in Tennessee, bro. I mean, everybody loves the Vols around here. So.
Oh my God, Brad! I just saw what you did.
No matter who's on the roster,
y'all have no idea.
No matter what the roster is, it's still Tennessee, man.
I know. It's still Tennessee. I know all about it. Trust me. All right, Nicholas. This one's hard for me. I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut. This one's hard for me. I can't help it, guys.
I think Boo Carter is going to be big, but he's going through a situation right now. I don't really know the whole dynamics about that whole situation. But if he ever gets it straightened out, I think he could be a real big player for the Vols.
I think the only player that I'm really intrigued with on this, especially on this defense, is McCoy, the corner, because I think that dude's going to be really good.
I think Kitzelman is going to be really good for them.
I don't know about him.
I don't know. I think
this team.
My biggest issue is they didn't really go and deep dive into the wide receiver portal. Like they didn't really. They kind of stayed with what they got.
Except they lost Squirrel White, and on top of out of the portal. On top of what graduated and is gone, like. I'm just not sold. Listen, defensively, I think this Tennessee team is a lot worse than last year defensively. Offensively, Dylan Sampson is going to absolutely kill them as far as missing a piece. They have 3 returning starters, and they let their quarterback fly out to UCLA. Let's be honest. I just don't see. I honestly for myself, I can't even believe that they were ranked in the top 25. I know they come in at 24, I think, but I just don't see it. I don't. Missouri has a much better chance schedule to be in the top 25 than Tennessee does.
And Tennessee has I'm looking at their schedule right now. They have a really mediocre schedule too.
When they play Syracuse and Atlanta, they play ETSU, Georgia,
UAB.
I think is the biggest game of the year for them. Like right out of the gate, at home.
Yeah.
UAB at Mississippi State, Arkansas at home, at Alabama, at Kentucky, Oklahoma, New Mexico State, at Florida, and Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's got to be Georgia as their key game.
Georgia's probably the biggest game of their season. Because if you win that game, you got a shot to be undefeated going into the
their schedule is pretty weak. I will give you that. So maybe that does keep them in the top 25. But as far as them being a really good team, I just think they are way further down the totem pole as far as talent than what they have been the last 2 years. And I'm including the Hendon Hooker year 2 years ago. I think the last 2 years they've been really good. And I'm saying that as a damn Kentucky fan that hates them. Okay. I'm just gonna put it out there.
And
gee, I wonder how much you hate them, Brad.
You just don't know.
Go as far as say they'll be 8-4.
Okay.
Nah, too high. I'm gonna go with 6.
I don't think so. Not with this schedule.
See, if they were playing a tougher schedule, I could easily see 6 or 7 wins on this team because I
There's at
just
least
don't think this team is all that talented. But I think their schedule's pretty damn easy. I'm going to go 8-4 just because their schedule is weak as Charmin, soft as Charmin. I mean, honestly, like I think it's terrible.
Fair.
All right, guys, we're going to get to Texas, and thank God we're past that one. That's all I got to say. All right, so Arch Manning show finally comes aboard at Texas. I know for myself. Listen, I am not a Texas fan. I do not like Texas. They are almost as bad as the last UT. I mean, but I will say this: I am really looking forward to watching Arch Manning.
I'm going to say
his
this.
grandfather's got to keep his mouth shut about his draft stuff, though. That is getting to his head. And when when Arch is basically speaking about this, like you can tell it's getting to him. So I love you, Archie Manning. I love the Manning family, but Archie, the grandfather, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
zip it up, lock it up, throw the key away. Enough.
That's true. I will give you that.
And the fact that this roster is,
imagine if they still had Isaiah Bond, who went undrafted, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, that's his own fault. If you know his story.
I know the story, but I'm just saying.
Texas has a lot of money, and it has the facilities.
$40 million roster, from the way I understand it.
There's momentum with this group, with Sark. It has one of the top coaches in the country. I'm going to say it out loud. You better win a national championship this year, Texas. Because it's there for the taking.
That's pretty bold. First of all, you got to get past Georgia. They beat your ass twice last year. And I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I said when they were talking the Georgia schedule, that's why I said Texas
as good a coach and as good a job as Sark has done, the same thing that I said about Brian Kelly late in games, Sark has kind of shit the bed, to be honest with you.
Well, he didn't let, Quinn Ewers. They had, what was it? Was it the Washington game, I think? Washington had one of probably the worst defenses in the country. And they wouldn't even let him throw the ball. How many chances did they have to score in the semifinal game? How many chances were they inside? They should have whipped Washington. They should have been playing Michigan for the title. Then you had, what was it? Last year, 1st and goal from the 1, and you had a tush push, and you have like some of the best players in the country. You can't get one damn yard, and that play call. Everybody wants to talk about the scoop and score from Sawyer or whatever his name was, Jack Sawyer.
Jack Sawyer. Everybody wants to talk about that play call was freaking horrendous.
Yeah, bad.
You're running wide against one of the
best play call, guys. You can talk about the play and the scoop and the score all you want to, but that play call was like grade school shit. I mean, come on.
Well, you got to think,
reminded me of his time as the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons.
Ohio State has probably one of the best defenses in the country, and you're trying to run wide on them.
Steve Sarkisian, baby. He did the same thing in Atlanta. He did the same thing in Atlanta, though. Like, why are we surprised by this?
Listen, I'm not saying I'm surprised. I'm saying it's absolutely asinine, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he hasn't even learned his lesson. It's crazy.
I mean, late in games, you got to get better, man. I mean, seriously, John's talking about it's time. You got to win a national championship. If you can't make better play calls, it's not happening.
Well, and then on top of that, you had the 9 penalties they had in the game, the 2 turnovers against Ohio State. Like, you cannot do that against teams that are of that caliber. and the line was not great. They had too many tackles for loss. They only get one starter, I think, back from the line from a year ago. And that ain't the worst problems. The worst problems is in the red zone where they was throwing the ball. You know, they scored fewer than 80% of the time in the red zone.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
I'm still unsure with their running game. Like, who's going to be their guy at running
well,
back?
they get the running back back.
Wisner. Yeah. They
Is
get
it
Trey
going to be
Moore
Baxter?
back.
Is it going to be Wisner or Baxter?
It'll be a mixture. It'll be a mixture of both, probably.
Yeah.
You get, but you probably get one of the best linebackers in the country back, Anthony Hill Jr. Like, he's a stud. He's probably a top.
And you get back the cornerback. What's his name?
Muhammad.
Malik, really
Muhammad,
good.
Yeah, I mean, they got the pieces, guys, for sure. 100%. They've got the talent.
And I think if all goes bad for Texas and they have a bad year, I could absolutely see Ark leaving. I could see all these guys leaving.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the schedule rundown real quick, and I'm going to go from at Mississippi State, Sam Houston State, San Jose State, UTEP, Vanderbilt, Arkansas.
Well, that's a tough start. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a tough schedule to start with.
Georgia, Kentucky, at Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Dallas, and Texas A&M.
I still think Georgia's their key game.
And welcome to the party, everybody. Arch Manning, you know what your first game is? Right in the shoe.
Ohio State. Now that's a tough one to start with, but after that, man, their next 4 or 5 games is cake. I mean, just cake.
It's not great, no.
I mean,
play like San Jose State, Sam Houston, UTEP, Florida, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Like, you probably waltz into the Georgia game.
Yeah, I mean, so key game, honestly, I'm going to call it Ohio State. I mean, that's a huge big noon kickoff week 1.
Yeah.
I still think the Georgia game is more bigger.
Well, it is because it's a conference.
But it's later in the year. Like, it's always almost at the end of November. So
I agree with that.
They're going to know where they're going basically by the time they play Georgia.
All right, let's get to the schedule. I'm going to get your predicted win here.
10 wins, 10-2.
All right. Is 10-2 a disappointment to Texas fans?
It is a little
probably.
Bit. I just think Arch. I think he's good, Brad. I just don't. It's his first year as a starter.
Yeah, and his grandfather needs to keep his mouth shut. Like, it's getting to his head. You could tell with the press conferences.
But if you've watched him play, he's got talent. His arm is amazing.
He is super talented. I'm just a little nervous that it's going to get to his head.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
Ohio State. That's
I'm going to match you.
Because you beat Ohio State.
I'm going to match you.
Waltzing to Georgia.
I'm going to match you and say 10-2. That's what I'm going to say.
I'll join you guys 10-2.
All right. Listen, I think if they do go 10-2, I think that'll be a little bit of a disappointment. I think, they think they can go 12-0, but I think the Ohio State game is going to be tough. Georgia's going to be tough. Oklahoma is going to be tough, probably. And there's a few other games in there that they could lose. I'm going to go 10-2. They could go 11-1. I do not think they go 12-0, but they could go.
I'm going to say something about A&M right here, real quick, when we get started.
All right, so we are moving to A&M. Go ahead.
They have one double-digit win since 1998.
Yep, I know that.
Was that during the Johnny football year?
No, that was the year they had.
It wasn't even Johnny football.
I think it was Jamar Toombs. They had Jamar Toombs on that team. I'm trying to think who else was on that team. Dak Gwynn played for the Cowboys, linebacker. Really good linebacker for Dallas. I think that was the year they played Kansas State. Was it not? And knocked Kansas State out of the national championship.
I think so.
With Michael Bishop.
Let's
But
get
still-
to Elko. Let's get to Elko. So in year 2, John, I thought he done a pretty decent job last year. They kind of fell off towards the end of the season, the last 2 or 3 games. But I thought they had done a pretty good job. What do you think where Elko has this team going into year 2?
It was his first year, Brad, I think, and they had some meltdowns. They lost to USC. They had a chance to play for the SEC championship, and the offense just kind of laid an egg against Texas.
They did,
but they won 8 games for the first time in 3 years. I'm gonna tell you something. People can say what they want to, but Elko is a hell of a football coach.
He is.
He's about to win a lot more too. To me, I think he's really, really good. I think the defense is really good. Whenever he's the head coach, the defense is going to be really, really good. They was loaded last year.
They're still pretty loaded right now.
They are.
They are. They have a nice team. I really do think they do.
The biggest piece that they really lost was Shamar Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he won't be returning anytime soon.
No,
Since he's got
Scooby Williams got hurt last year. He should be back. Torian York will be back.
Will Lee, the corner, he's going to be back.
I think adding Julian Humphrey from the portal from Georgia was really big.
Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
listen, nobody's mentioned the quarterback. I mean, I think Reed is pretty special. I think he can be. Marcel Reed is going to be good.
Reed is really good.
And he's got some weapons, too, surrounding him. I mean, Le'Veon Moss in the backfield I like. Amar, we'll see how
and I don't think people realize.
I think this is a team that could actually surprise some people. I really do.
Don't forget about KC. Don't forget about KC.
And I don't think people realize, too, Brad, that, A&M is a top dollar school like Texas is. And they're going to fund money. Yeah. They're going to win. They're going to win down there. They do the very least with the most. I've always said, who's a coach in college basketball that does the most with league? Rick Barnes at Tennessee. That's how I feel about the A&M football program. They're consistent.
You're talking about the program as a whole. I'm talking about Elko in 1 year and what he has in year 2.
Yeah, I'm talking about as a program as a whole.
I think that the program actually looks a lot better now under Elko. I mean, what's happened the last 25 years, you can't do nothing about.
Well, and I tell you too, they don't have to play Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, or Ole Miss, which is huge.
So, there you go. Let's look at their schedule.
Their schedule sets up really good. They start out with Miami on the road. No, it's not. Is it Miami? No, that's Notre Dame. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. It's UTSA, Utah State. They play Notre Dame third game of the year.
Yeah.
That's right. I got confused with the Miami Notre Dame game. Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, at Arkansas, at LSU, at Missouri, South Carolina, Samford, and at Texas.
That's a really good schedule.
It is.
I think there's a shot to go 9-4 or 9-5.
I could see it. I really could see it. Yeah, I agree.
What's a key game?
Notre Dame.
Notre
Got to be Notre Dame.
Because it's on the road. That's a big chance for them to kind of make some hayway.
But what's a key game in SEC that you think?
Probably Auburn at home at the end of September. That's probably a huge game for them because they don't play because they play Florida in the middle of October. I think Auburn kind of start out with the home opener and taking care of business.
All right, that's fair. All right, let's look at predicted win total for.
I got them at 9-4. I think they have a good year this year.
I'll join you, John. 9-4.
I think they have a really good year. I just think Elko is very good coach. I think he's a good defensive coach.
They could go 9-3 would be the regular season, probably. I mean, I think they could go that, but I'm going to give them a repeat of 8-4. But they could very well go 9-3. I like this team. He's got a lot of good pieces back. He's one team. They actually have the 7th most returning production in the country back, Texas A&M. So
Kentucky's in there too.
There's your little tidbit
from seniors and stuff, as I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about overall. I'm talking about offense, defense, and special teams. All three units.
The reason I said that Kentucky was on a list today with them.
Well, I'm just telling you about Texas A&M. They actually have the 7th most returning production in the country back. So don't be surprised to see this team doing pretty well. I could see them getting to 9 wins. I really can.
I think it was Missouri, Kentucky, Texas A&M, and there was another team that they're bringing back quite a bit of production. So
yeah. Oh boy,
I read it on a list this morning.
Yeah. All right, John got a Vanderbilt article out this morning, so I want to start with you. I mean, listen, Vanderbilt had let's call it what it is. For them, they had a really good season last year. They got a miracle and got Diego Pavia back. And I mean that by a miracle because of courts and all that. He got an extra year. They got Diego Pavia back. They do have him in the tight end back that's going to be really good. They have some pieces, John, but Vanderbilt's talking kind of crazy. So, what do you think about this Vanderbilt team? Where are they actually?
I mean, they went to a bowl game, won it last year. They beat Virginia Tech. They beat Alabama for the first time since 1984. Their first winning season since 13. They got the big Diego Pavia at quarterback, which I love him. I think his confidence and swagger is fun, but the whole national championship talk is a little bit too much. I think you got to enjoy.
Can I be honest? I really don't know about this coach, though. I mean, Clark Lee, he did. I mean,
he's not the type to, he's the type to not really say a lot. Me and Brad talked about this last year. He's really, really quiet.
I know that's why I'm a little unsure about him. I mean, he did a really good job last year, but
and here's the thing, their experience comes they're loaded. They brought a ton of guys back.
Offense. I like their offense, like the pieces they brought back on offense. But to call them loaded.
Well, I mean
it is Vanderbilt.
They're loaded by Vanderbilt standards.
I don't know if they're loaded by I don't know.
I don't think they're loaded by SEC standards.
Okay, Brad. How about this? They bring back Eli Stowers.
Yeah.
He's the best tight end in the country.
The best tight end in the country, but he's a good one.
He's one of the tops in the SEC if you want to really be.
He's a good one. I'll give you that.
Junior Sherrill's back. Trent Hudson from Mississippi State. They got Fitzgerald from Virginia Tech. I think he was a teammate of Pavia at New Mexico State. The defense, it wasn't great, but they got a lot out of them. Langston Patterson's back. Brian Longwell, Nick Rinaldi. I like this.
They played Virginia Tech early, second game or something like that.
Yeah, it's Charleston, then Virginia Tech, then South Carolina, then Georgia State, then Utah State, then Alabama, then LSU, then Missouri, then Texas, then Auburn, Kentucky, and they finish off at Tennessee.
I mean, the last half of that schedule is brutal. If they can get past Virginia Tech, I mean, could they be 4-0 or so? I mean, yes. I think this team gets to 6 or 7 wins for sure.
They could be 5-0 going to Alabama.
I don't know about that. That South Carolina game is I think it's their biggest game.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't see the South Carolina game in the middle of that. So
they play Charleston then Virginia Tech, then South Carolina.
Yeah, I didn't realize
I'm going to put the error on me. I might have forgotten to mention them. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's their big game, South Carolina. Because
Yeah,
I think Virginia Tech and South Carolina, if they could get through those games, then yes, and get to Alabama. But I don't see them beating South Carolina. I
don't see it either.
I know people's not going to be happy with me in Nashville land. After me writing an article for them this morning, they're probably going to be throwing stakes and pitchforks and everything at me today. But I got them going 6-6 because that schedule's tough, Brad.
It's brutal, man.
I mean, and you're
look at the back half of that schedule.
Well, and then you're saying that you're going to play. You want to play for a national championship, like. That's a lot of talk.
Okay, they're going to have to beat Kentucky. They're going to have to beat Tennessee. They're going to have to beat Virginia Tech. They're going to have to beat South Carolina. Don't they play LSU?
No, not this year. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do at home.
That's what I'm thinking. They play Alabama, LSU, Texas.
They play the home games are Charleston Southern, Georgia State, Utah State, LSU, Missouri, Auburn, and Kentucky.
But I mean, that schedule, like, if they was to go 8-4, that would be a miracle season for them.
It would. I agree.
I mean, an absolute miracle season for them. For them to think that they could somehow contend for a national championship.
It's just how you said it.
I mean, holy smokes, man. You might need to get your mental capacity checked out. I'm just saying, like, for real, man.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, wow. Like, I'm just not sure that you have walking around sense.
But I got them going 6-6. Where you got them going, Nick?
I'm at the 6-6 range too. I've contemplated 7, but I'm going 6-6.
I mean, do I think they could get to 7 wins? I do. And maybe they will. Maybe they will pull off the absolute miracle of all miracles and be 11-1. I don't know. Maybe they can. I just don't believe it.
I don't think Nashville will be able to sit still.
Well, I don't live too far from Nashville. If that happens, I will go to a Vanderbilt game and I will go wearing the V on my chest. Okay? I'm just saying. Anchor down. That's all I'm saying.
Anchor down. Yeah. That was a great show.
I'm gonna say 6, maybe 7 wins. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. All right. That's the 16 teams in the Big Ten, in the SEC, and we're gonna get to our 2 teams that we think is going to play for an SEC championship the first week of December. And John, I'm going to ask you first on this one, and then I'll go first with Nicholas for the winner. But what's your 2 teams that's going to be playing in the SEC championship game?
Georgia and Texas. It's a rematch.
All right. Nicholas?
I just think them 2 are just a little bit better than everybody else.
That's kind of, I mean, that's a good call. Nicholas, what do you think?
Georgia, LSU.
Georgia, LSU. So you got them kind of knocking Texas out of the way.
Correct.
All right, that's interesting. I'm going to be with John. I'm going to say it's Georgia and Texas. Like, I just don't think, Alabama has a shot if they can beat Georgia again. They do have a shot if they can do that. And the other team that would have a shot is LSU, if you ask me. But I'm going to go Georgia and Texas. And who do you have winning the SEC, Nicholas?
Georgia.
They have been the boss lately.
Georgia.
They have been the boss lately. I
I just think
listen,
until you
I'm
beat
not
them,
exactly until somebody knocks them off. I'm not going against the Georgia Bulldogs, man. I mean, they just been that good. Kirby Smart has been that damn good since about 2017,
you know,
2018.
and you know good and well that he's ripped them to shreds this offseason.
Oh yeah, I mean he has chewed their ass this year. I'm sure of it.
Oh my God.
Sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. And I mean, there's no way around it. I think that's who's going to win. But before we leave the show tonight, check out Home Field Apparel. Go to their website. They have a really cool pre-kickoff football. It's called Can't Miss Kickoff. They're dropping some premier football boxes, some really cool vintage bomber jackets, blackout and whiteout with 8 teams. Check them out. They got a lot going on. Use CSCast as a code. If you're a first-time buyer, you'll get 15% off. We're on the
we
real.
are. You want me to do it?
Go ahead.
And we are on the Real Fresh channel on YouTube. And tune in to Stadium Rant on YouTube for a large array of sports shows, content, including us and Howie Fresh. Howie Fresh comes on every Tuesday night at, 7 o'clock?
Yep, on College SportsCast.
8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock?
It's 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
7 Central, 8 Eastern, yeah.
Nicholas is from Stadium Rant.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to Ringside Rant for his show on Thursday nights.
Yeah, of course.
And I kind of wanted to bring up also for everybody to be in prayers for Will. Will's going through some health issues, and he's a big part of the Ringside Rant with Nicholas. And we want to say our prayers to I told him I would do it. I told him I would do it tonight because he said that he wanted everybody to pray for him, and I said, "Well, I'll tell everybody tonight." So,
yep. Couple of things real quick.
He's just having some life altering situations. So just remember,
he's got some health problems and he needs some prayers. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Couple of things real quick. Check out starting in September. I believe we're going to start September 8th, I believe. But we're going to be doing a new show called Wildcat Weekly here at College Sportscast. We're going to cover all things Kentucky sports and Kentucky media that we have been doing in games. And that's going to be for volleyball, football, men's basketball, women's basketball. And in the spring, we're even going to do some softball and baseball. So check that out. Bird's Eye View has been doing some photographs for us and some images and going to games, and we appreciate him. Check out Eric Bird from Bird's Eye View Photography. Like I said, he's went to football and volleyball the last couple of weekends for fan days with us. So we appreciate him. Give him a shout out here on the show for the work that he's doing for us.
Group of 5 next week.
Yep. So the last thing, guys, if you enjoyed this show and us talking about college football and talking about the SEC, check out on YouTube or Facebook, check out College Sportscast, because the last few weeks we have done a ACC preview, a Big Ten preview, a Big 12 preview, and now the SEC preview. Check out those shows as well. We would appreciate that. The next show is going to be August 26th on a Tuesday night. That's going to be a week from tonight. We're going to do about the top 8 best possible teams out of the group of 5, maybe 10, 8 or 10 teams. And then the last half of the show, we're going to do our college football playoff predictions. By the way, I think King Will, Mr. Will that you were talking about just a few minutes ago with the health issues, is planning on being here with us next Tuesday night. So I want to give him a shout out there as well. And then after that, our main shows that we've been doing now, this will be the start of the 4th year of these shows. On the 29th, we'll do our game day pick'ems. And that's where we take about 12 of the best games of the week and we use spreads and do picks. And then the Big Fuss Show, it will start probably September the 2nd. That's on a Tuesday night after opening weekend of college football, week 1. And we will just kind of break down hot topics, debate topics, and we'll just have a little bit of fun with the Big Fuss Show. Do some fuss, some rants with stadium rant, fussing, and all different kinds of stuff.
And week zero's this week, so everybody get tuned in.
So the last thing that I want to do real quick, talking about week 0, there's one big game, and this is kind of surprise here for you guys, but I want a pick at the game in Ireland, Dublin, Iowa State versus Kansas State. We're going to go ahead and make a game day pick right here at the end because those games happen this Saturday, and we are not going to be on between now and then. So give me one pick. Who do you have? Iowa State, Kansas State. I do not know the spread. We normally do spreads, but if anybody's got that looked up, I don't know the spread.
I don't even know. I don't even think it. I don't even see. Maybe
I don't even see one out yet.
I got Iowa State. I think Iowa State wins this one.
It's in Ireland, Dublin, Ireland. I mean,
big missed opportunity to not have the Fighting Irish in
I'll
Ireland.
say this:
yeah,
Kansas State is probably the best team in the Big 12. But my biggest issue is Avery Johnson. Like, he had some hiccups last year. Iowa State's defense is going to be a lot better. Iowa State had some health issues last year. I think they'll be a lot better, and I think they'll wreak some havoc against this whole fresh, brand new offensive line of Kansas State's. I'm a big believer in the Cyclones. I actually think they win the Big 12.
All right. So, Nicholas, give me a pick between. I think it's a big game. It's a conference game, so it means a lot.
Yeah. I'll go with Iowa State too.
All right. If you two are going Iowa State, I'm gonna go Kansas State just to be damn different.
But I will say this: the idea of them playing in Dublin is a lot of fun.
It is. It's a fun atmosphere.
You got the atmosphere. You got.
Yeah, I never understood this. Why didn't they put the Fighting Irish in the game
Well, they
in
were
Ireland?
in there 2 years ago. Not last year, but 2 years ago.
They should be a yearly thing. I mean, their team is in honor of that country. So,
yeah, I mean, that's true. I'll give you that.
Me and Brad might take off to Ireland this weekend.
I don't know about that.
I would
Might
love
not
to go to
come back.
Ireland.
Might not.
Brad's like, I might not even be back.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. I might like that alcohol a little too much out there.
A little too much. That's why I wanted to bring you back.
Or the potatoes. The potatoes there are really good too.
Oh, yeah, they say they're pretty good. Yeah.
I might find me a leprechaun with the end of the rainbow or some shit. I don't know.
And ending on that note,
the luck of the Irish. I mean, you gotta love the luck of the Irish. Is all I'm gonna say.
You see what I have to deal with every week.
I love it though. I wish I could be here every week.
Oh, goodness.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We hope you have had fun here with us with our Power 4 conference previews. We've done one each week. If you haven't seen them, go back and check them out on College SportsCast on YouTube. And we appreciate you guys. Appreciate Nicholas being with us, Hammonds. We appreciate you. So we will see you guys next week for a group of 5 best and our college football playoff predictions. Y'all have a good week.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.